Grass, fences, water and trees. Almost everything the flock needs could already be found on site. Missing were only salt and a barn for the sheep in winter. Only recently, the first lickstone was placed on site and the city changed from one moment to the other. Everyone likes sheep. The program is as follows. The sheep are kept on rotating pastures called paddocks. There are 19 paddocks. The sheep graze 4 days on each paddock. 5 days a month, the sheep move to the city. The pasture break for flora and fauna to regenerate is 3 months. To rotate from pasture to pasture, the sheep use the normal streets. Over the course of a year, the flock is hosted by the United Nations, the US Mission, and the Rothschild estate, among others. My flock and I are not the first ones to graze the pastures of the United Nations. Already since the 1990s, each October and November, a flock of sheep is coming to the Palais des Nations from a village nearby. We have simply expanded the symbiotic relationship to the whole area and the whole year round, from a flock of 300 to a flock of 2,000 today. The sheep graze in front of monuments such as the Alley of Flags. But when they lift their heads, it's not to look at those. It's for the local winds, the light breeze. When they lower their heads again, it's to be drinking from the water surrounding the celestial sphere. By placing the lickstones at neuralgic points of the fenced areas, interplays between sheep and the public are facilitated. Geneva's pastoral landscape is also home to the US Mission. It is located in the Old World Center of private banks at the intersection of EU and international fiber optic networks, and serves as a laboratory for signals intelligence activities. I recall Odysseus' escape from the single-eyed but blinded Cyclops Polyphemus' cave. Thus, then, did we wait in great fear of mind till morning came. The sheep hurried out to feed. But their master, in spite of all his pain, felt the backs of all the sheep as they stood upright, without being sharp enough to find out that the men were underneath their bellies. Accidents between SIGINT and the flock are pre-programmed. From time to time, it happens that one of the sheep takes down a drone in play. But all too often, we are accused for any drone that crashes. The situation needed rewiring. I equipped my flock with 5G, tracing every step. And I equipped one or the other sheep with a camera, recording incidents from a sheep's perspective. Meanwhile, on the roof of the fortress, SCS personnel wiretapping micro and millimeter waves, cellular communications, and Wi-Fi networks in range of up to 1 kilometer in radius. And hidden behind fake structures, CCS antennas. Even the slightest signals pass into the building, also signals emitted by the flock. Every last weekend of the month, the flock and I leave the Jardin des Nations and process into the city. These are the weekends of transhumance, of making with, of worlding with. The sheep make their way down the Avenue de la Paix to the Jardin d'Hiver, graze at the Parc William Rappard next to the WTO, continue their way to the Parc Pardon de la Perle du Lac and Mont Repos, graze at the Quai Wilson, pass by the OHCHR, graze at the Quai du Mont Blanc, cross the Pont du Mont Blanc, graze in the Jardin Anglais, graze at the Quai Gustave Ador, pass the Jet d'Eau, and finally arrive at the Parc de la Grange, where we spend the rest of the weekend. The urban event leaves a digital footprint on multiple channels. Sometimes, it only takes a flock to move whole neighborhoods.